Let's have some fun with shapes. So Shift A and add a cube, and let's just scale this a bit here. Let's go to box cutter and yeah, let's just run a cut here and let's make it dense, like maybe, I don't know, 40, 44, or maybe more than that. Fuck it, let's go with 50 and cut it, right? Let's just go to edit view, and I'm going to actually mirror this across itself. So mirror across itself and apply the mirror. So I'm gonna have a line in the middle. Perfect. So now I can go Alt Z and I can nuke these. So I'm gonna have a perfect tangency here if I'm gonna grab this edge and move it up, you see what I mean? And then we can just nuke this nonsense here, we don't need them. And then I'm gonna grab these verts here, B, and nuke that, right? And what we're gonna do, we're gonna rearrange these, okay? So right click and loop tools and space. And we're gonna do the same thing here, okay? So loop tools and space, boom, right? Perfect. And then we're going to grab this edge. And then we're gonna go GG and then C and up, like that. And for some reason it didn't cut it. What the hell? Hang on. Let me just nuke this boolean and combine these two. Then combine these two, combine these two, and then cut it. There we go. So that's that. And I might actually cut this here as well. And then let's see, actually I want to bring it a bit higher, wait. Let me just bring it a bit higher, and this one too. Somewhere here, okay? Now let's mirror this. How are we looking? We're looking pretty peachy. It looks like a German cross on a tank from World War II. So now we're gonna run another cut here. So let's just enable dots and run a cut here. Like this. And shift click. And run something like this here, okay? That's cool. This could be actually smaller, you know? Something like that. Now I'm not sure about this cut here. Maybe I'm just gonna, yeah, maybe I'm gonna cut it in here somewhere. That's kind of cool. I like that. In fact, you know what we could do? We could cut it like this. It's gonna be even more interesting here. Let's just switch to 5 degrees. And you could like that. Then I can run sort of like a clamp in here on this side. Or maybe even put it a bit deeper. Rotate it maybe deeper as well, like this. In fact, what we could do, we could cut it with a cutter made out of this pipe. So let's just grab this one and let's just Shift D this and put it in collection. And then what we could do is run a surface here. So we would need to, if I run it from here, it's gonna be too steep from here, right? So Alt Z, B, and go all the way here and nuke this. And then we're going to expand this, right? So this could be even maybe here. Maybe we could still nuke these two, you know. So vertices, right, and then grab this one, right? And then GG and then C and move it up, and let's see that. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna ever scroll this, nuke that, and we're gonna use it as a cutter. So let's mirror this to the bottom. and we're going to expand it outwards. So EX in here, mirror to the bottom, a bit more to the left. So come on, B and GX. There we go. Then F to combine them. Then F here, mirror, and then boolean. There we go. So now we got that. And honestly, what I would do is I would move this face deeper here, like this. It's gonna be interesting. Something like this, maybe. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then let's shift shaded solid. In fact, you know what? Let me just save it because I have a feeling it's gonna crash in a minute. Or maybe we could cut this one here with an end gun like this. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, so now we're gonna take this element here and invert the selection and nuke the faces. Whoops. Okay, in this case, we're gonna do it like this. Control Q, and Control click on curve extract and nuke this nonsense. Then we're going to solidify it. Right, and obviously drop it down. So GG, and just, you know, eyeball this. Oh, or even better, maybe we could cut this. Where is this cutter here? I have a scroll. This one, let's cut it here like that. Boom, right? Perfect. And then we can just mirror to the bottom and across, right? Press A for another mirror. Boom. Okay, perfect. So that's that. Let's just bevel this. And this is cool. Let's shift to hide the cutter. Select these two and just run a cut here like this. For now, just gonna move it as close as possible here. Then I'm gonna move it manually. In fact, well, let's just apply this, smart apply, and move these two faces to this one with Alt A and just 3 to clean it, right? So we're gonna get this, and then on top of this, I wanna create some cut here in the middle. So let's just run cut here like this. It's gonna go outside here and slice it, and then let's just mirror this to all sides like that. Peachy. That's cool. And what we could do is just run bevels on it. Six segments will do, I think. There we go. That's working. Cool. And then let's actually apply this. Let's run the chamfer here. So in order to run the chamfer here, which is going to be really tricky, we need to combine these two here. So let's apply this smart apply, and then we can combine these two with a J. And let's straighten this up and then mirror to the other side, and we're gonna be able to chamfer this now. There we go. And we don't need this edge. How are we looking? Looking pretty good. Then we need a few chamfers here. So what we could do is maybe run, we can't, okay. Limitations of polygons. Limitations of polygons. We could run this one. But if we do that, oh yeah, we missed this point here. This edge and this one. There we go. Now it should work. There we go. So chamfer here, and we're gonna do a chamfer on the other side as well. So let's grab all that. All the way here, and let's chamfer this. That's looking good, so let's mirror that. And we do need a chamfer here as well. So let's chamfer this one. Now, we could also chamfer this one. So let's apply it. And make sure that this is of the same size. So let's just bring it closer. Okay. Now we can chamfer this one. And this side's gonna be an absolute bastard, but we could try. Let's run a chamfer here too, and you know, this one's gonna be tricky, yeah? See, there you go. So we're gonna have to fix it. We can fix it. It's gonna be a bit of a bent face here, but I'll show you how to fix it, right? So Alt-Z, and we got some topology, you know, flying underneath itself, basically. So we need to move this chamfer back to this edge, right? So we're gonna subdivide this edge, I would say 3 times, and move it in here like this. Then move this one here, and move this one here, and it should be fine. So that's fixed. And we have another problem here, so we need to grab this edge. We could technically remove this edge, you know, and then just patch this, right? It's not going to be perfect because you're going to have some bending, but what we could do is change the auto smooth a bit. Actually, no, it's not going to catch it. I mean, what we could do is run a, you know, bevel on this one. Another thing you could do is run an edge here very close to it like this, you know, and kind of fake this a little bit, right? It's still gonna be a bit of a problem. You could go really close, right? And then we can run procedural bevel, so you could kind of fake it. Another thing you could do is simply sharpen it, right? So mark sharp, right? And it's gonna solve it, you know what I mean? So there are ways, you know, of going around it, but that's a limitation of polygons, basically. So limitations of polygons. Cool, so we got that. And now let's recover the this pipe here. So where is it? Shift Alt H and Shift 2. Yeah, this one, right? So let's move it to collection, and let's just shift it to solid. And let's just remove this one. Okay, and let's make it larger. This one this one now fits nice and snug here, and maybe a little bit longer. Okay, maybe not that long. There we go. Supply scale. Supply scale here, and bevel. Skinny bevel. That's important. Let's run a loop here and scale this a little bit. Like that. Run some bevel on this. Let's grab a chamfer here. Insert it. And there we go. And we can mirror this. And this is bevel, right? Perfect. We can do this, fix more details over there later. Now we got some pulling here. Let's just weighted normals this thing, and that looks good. I do want some chamfering here for sure. That's what we need, and mirror this to the other side. And there you go. We have chamfer here, chamfer on the bottom. That looks good. Here D and circle, and we're going to run it in the middle. That's not in the middle, so let's run a loop here in the middle. Let's just we don't have a chamfer on this side, that's why. So let's chamfer this as well. There we go. And then we can just probably subdivide this edge and run an edge here. Let's just align it here, and then run a cut in this element and move it a little bit to the left. It's a bit too big, and also should be a bit higher, somewhere here, right? Maybe a bit lower. I think this will do. Okay. Cool. And you know, let's just mirror this across. I don't know why weighted nolom is moving, but it's moving something with hard ups. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, here let's just grab a circle and run a circle cut in the middle, somewhere here. And we're going to run another cut here. So let's just control. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Let's run from off of this point like this, deeper, and then we can mirror this across this circle. So shift 2, there we go, mirror across this one, there we go, and then we're gonna rotate it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to grab one of these, shift D that, nuke to mirror, rotate on a circle by 90, then cut this and mirror here, right? And also mirror here. There we go. How are we looking? I think they're gonna be a bit too dense, but you know, it's alright. So now let's apply this, right? So operations multiply, and we're gonna run a chamfer here on this, right? So run a chamfer on all of them at the same time. So on these, and then we can mirror it. So Control B, and we're gonna have to fix it, you know, like here. There's a bit of a beefaroonie. Something got pulled. This one got pulled. So we could move it here, and you know, bollocks. This one needs to get moved here. Alt Z and GG and move it. Okay, I'm gonna just move it here. And then we're gonna cut it like this and nuke this one, okay? Peachy. And if you really wanted, you could relax them by simply running the space tool, but I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm just gonna mirror this, so to all sides. Oh yeah, so we need to do it in here too, so let's do that. Control B, and there you go. It should be a bit bigger. There we go. It's a bit of a beef here, so we can fix it. I'm just gonna move it here, it's fine. And again, and boom, right? Mirror. Cool. And then we're gonna run a bevel here, but I don't think it's gonna be possible though. Yeah, it's gonna get stuck. So what we could do, you could technically remove these, you know. They're not really that important, okay? You know what I mean? So Control X, let's just combine these two. And just nuke that one, okay. Here too. There we go. And then we can select these and probably chamfer them. What's going on here? Let's actually combine it, and this should it's gonna be too close as well. GG, move it here. GG. And this is gonna be a problem, so combine them. Okay, so now should work. Okay, there we go, that's better. And you know, this one's gonna be a bit distorted, but we could just combine these two here, or move this one up here like this, right? And there, boom. And then we're gonna drill another hole here, right? And in fact, let me just remove the weighted normals for a sec, because it's fucking annoying. Let's punch it in and then Shift T to taper. A bit deeper, okay. Then let's apply this. And then let's run a chamfer here. Inside, like that. And then run a hole through, so. Right, and then we're gonna mirror. Cool. And let's actually recover this cutter. This one, and drop it down here. Actually, let's flip it on y-axis and move it up. Where is it? Ah, here, perfect. Let's move it like this and cut it. Not bevel, come on. Difference, there we go. And then we can mirror this to the bottom and across. There we go, that's better. Then here we could have a loop, maybe not as wide. Shift curve, extract this, apply this, run to chamfers on it. And then we could run, just run a loop here. We could run a thread, a bit denser. Right, perfect. And we're gonna need some screws here. And then we could also have threads in here, right? So, you know, just apply this. And yeah, we're gonna have to fix this nonsense here. Can we select everything now? No, not yet. This one. Okay, and then thread. Boom, right? Then we can mirror to all sides. And we could also have two cuts in here just for fun. Let's actually grab this cutter, insert it, and then extrude it backwards and chamfer it. Then we could flip this face, so Alt and flip, and we could bevel this one to get this result. Move it in here, and then let's apply this, and we could, you know, thread this one. Right? It's gonna look pretty cool. There we go, right? And then let's run shade smooth or shade auto smooth. Wait a minute. Need to apply the cutter. Smart apply, there we go. And then shade auto smooth. Hang on a second, what the hell? Oh, it's all marked sharp. There we go. Perfect. And I think we're done. Now, last thing I want is I want 2 narrow cuts on this thing here, which will not work because it's mirrored. No, it will work. Okay, so one more time. And I'm gonna mirror it here, here, and to the bottom. Apply this. And there we go. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. And we need screws. Now, screws I'm gonna add from, different Blender. So Q Alt Asset Loader, and we could run and this one's fine. Let's copy that. And let's just GG and align it to face. GG, there we go. Scale it. I'm just gonna eyeball it. What we could do is align here with mesh tools and align view, and pop it in here. I could just run a cursor here and blah blah, but I can't be bothered. It's fine. And then just run the bevel on it. You know what I mean? And then we can mirror this here, here, and to the bottom, right? Would you have another cut in here, or some kind of like a chamfer or some wedge cut maybe? Sharpen this, yeah. It's gonna look pretty cool, because why not? Okay, well that's it for the tutorial. Thanks for watching, and if you would like to learn how to work with add-ons and work effectively, grab our course, The Ultimate Guide to Hardops and Box Cutter 2.0, which is fantastic. It will teach you everything you need to know about add-on workflow, all the cool stuff and how to work really efficiently in Blender. But if you're new to Blender, you should start with our basic course, which is the Hard Surface Accelerator, and this one will teach you everything you need to know about the menus, the tools, the hard surface idea, how to model, how to create better shapes. There's a whole section on principles of design, rendering, and more. So grab whichever you want. The links are in the video description and in a comment pinned under the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.